Once upon a time, a 10-year-old boy lived with his parents in the village. After many years, he goes to his grandfather's village to meet him. He always goes and plays with his grandfather. One day, while playing, he said to his grandfather, "Grandpa, when I grow up, I'll prove to be very successful. Can you tell me some ways to be successful?" So grandfather looks at him smiling and says yes. They take him to a herb shop where small plants are found. His grandfather buys two plants from him and come back home. After coming home, he plants the plant in a big pot and keep that pot inside the house and plant the second plant outside the house. Then he asks his grandson, "Which plant do you think will grow better in the future?" The child thought a little and said to his grandfather, "The plant we have planted inside the house will grow well, because it will be safe from every problem inside the house. And the plant we planted outside, there is a risk for a lot of things, like the bright rays of the sun, storm, heavy rain, and the plant is also at risk from animals." His grandfather smiled and said to him, "Let's see what happens to those two plants in the future." After 4 years, the boy again goes to his grandfather's house. After seeing grandfather, he asked him again, "Grandpa, last time I asked you how to be successful in life, but you didn't tell me anything. But today, you will have to tell me." His grandfather said to him smilingly, "Sure, but first let's look at those two plants which we planted a few years ago." Saying this, his grandfather took him to the same place where the plant he kept inside the house. They saw that the plant had become a big plant. Then he went to the place where he had planted the second plant outside the house. They saw that small plant had now become a huge tree. Its branch was very long and strong, and his shadow was falling on the entire ground. Now the boy's grandfather looked at him and tell me which plant has become bigger and stronger. Which plant has been more successful? The boy said, "The plant which we have planted outside." "But grandpa, how is this possible? This plant has cured many dangerous situations. There must have been many problems on this. But how did such a small plant become such a big tree?" His grandfather looked at him and said, "You were right about the plant we planted outside. It has overcome many problems, and by facing those problems, it has become so big and huge today. And now it can make its branches as big as it wants. And the problem like strong storm and typhoon makes its branches stronger. And because of this, it has become a very huge tree. And now all these problems are small in front of him." Then his grandfather looked at him and said to him, "Ki beta, always remember one thing. Unless you struggle in your life, unless you go through difficulties, you cannot achieve success in your life. If you always make comfortable choices in your life, you will not be able to grow as much as you could. And if you are prepared for every problem, you will always be ready for struggle. Then it will not be possible for you to achieve any destination, and then big problem will seem small to you." After hearing this, the boy took a deep breath, and then he started looking towards that big and huge tree. His grandfather's words were running through his mind. Friends, we consider these things as problems, obstacles, and difficulties as enemies of our life. But these obstacles and difficulties makes us stronger and become more successful in our life. And someone he said that if you are not facing problems in your life, then understand that you are not on the wrong track. So people, if you want to spread this story to more people, then like this video so that YouTube can spread this video to more people. Or if you still like the story, then do subscribe to the channel. Meet me again like this. Thank you for being patient with the story and move forward in your life.